Aftertaste. There was a difference.
In this video, we'll be replacing the front shocks of the Strut assembly / coil-overs of this two-wheel drive 2006 Colorado.
Aftertaste. There was a different species of deliciousness to Eshire, whose umami-rich flavor lingered.
We will be using Bilstein's B6 4600 performance shocks. Spring compressors will be required. Here are the differences between the stock shock and the Bilsteins. First, we need to raise the front end and support it with jack stands. Removing the centers. If you forget to loosen the lug nuts prior to raising the front end, simply place a stop under the tire. In this case, it is a rock. The sway bar end links attached to the lower A-arms need to be fully removed. The end link to the sway bar needs to be loosened to get it out of the way. Next, we need to remove the shock absorber from the lower control arm. Now the three nuts on the spring / shock assembly / coil-over. The coil-over can now be removed by rotating it clockwise. Removing the shock from the coil-over. The spring compressor needs to be used to remove the spring pressure so the old shock can be removed and the new shock installed. I like using oil to keep the screw threads lubricated. Now we can remove the old shock from the coil-over. Here's an exploded view of the shock hardware. Installing the new Bilstein shock. Align the spring end to the same noted previous position in relation to the shock end. Regarding tightening the tenon nut, Bilstein states to tighten it to 19 pounds-foot. Now we can remove the spring compressor. Reinstalling the coil-over. After getting the coil-over into position, start attaching the three nuts to hold it in place. Since the shocks are highly pressurized, one needs to use a Phillips screwdriver to help align the holes prior to installing the bolt. Once the lower shock bolt is installed, now the three nuts can be torqued to 20 pound-foot. Now torque the lower shock bolt to 81 pound-foot. Now reattach the sway bar end links. Torque to 32 pound-foot. Hope this helps. You can help me by liking and subscribing. Thank you.